Hello, Bears. We're here today with two very special people, actually. We're gonna ask them some questions about Maple Bears High School. But I mean, of course, before we're gonna introduce who we are and you. We're the Hive, ABA Maple Bears newspaper club. We write news and we cover events and a lot of stuff. And I mean, now I'm gonna ask you who you are so that you can introduce yourself to who's watching us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having us. I'm André. I'm the CEO of Maple Bear for Latin America.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thanks for having us. I'm Richard. I'm the academic director for Maple Bear Brazil.
Right, nice. Okay, so we prepared some questions, like 6 questions from us, the Hive, and 3 questions that some parents sent to us today. So we're gonna start with the Portuguese one, which are the questions the parents made to us. So.
Oi, meu nome é Sofia e eu tô aqui para fazer as perguntas em português. Primeira pergunta. Como seria possível, mesmo em bilíngue, preparar cada aluno para o vestibular nacional, contando junto os custos de oportunidade em outras escolas com foco apenas nas matérias em português, exigidas nos exames aplicados no Brasil?
Perfeito. O high school, né, o ensino médio que a gente está lançando aqui, né, hoje num dia tão especial, ele vem preparado para que você consiga fazer essa escolha, tanto para um vestibular brasileiro quanto para qualquer tipo de application que você fizer em qualquer país do mundo. Por quê? Primeiro, a gente segue a base curricular comum, no qual traz todo o conteúdo, todos os conhecimentos que são exigidos para poder conseguir fazer um Enem ou um vestibular. Isso é alta performance, então o nosso high school ele vai trazer essa possibilidade, mas mais do que isso, ele também traz toda a perspectiva no qual a gente vai conseguir trazer o currículo também do Canadá, bem como os itinerários formativos, no qual ele planeja, né, de forma personalizada para cada aluno a trilha que ele quiser escolher, para um vestibular ou para uma carreira também. Então, e ao final, lógico, você como aluno, né, Maple Bear, ABA Maple Bear, você vai conseguir se formar, né, em 2 escolas, uma brasileira e uma canadense.
Bom, muito bom, interessante. Inovador, para falar a verdade. Segunda pergunta. Como iriam dar a formação para atender cada exigência, tanto no vestibular brasileiro como o ingresso em universidades do exterior?
Legal, acho que a primeira coisa que a gente precisa destacar quando a gente fala dessas 2 aprovações é que, né, o objetivo, a ideia da Maple Bear é justamente preparar os alunos para que eles façam essa escolha, seja uma universidade no Brasil ou seja uma universidade no exterior. Eu preciso estar preparado para isso. Então a gente tem, como o André colocou anteriormente, um programa voltado para alta performance, um programa voltado justamente para preparar os alunos com os conteúdos e as habilidades necessárias para uma aprovação no Enem ou para uma aprovação no vestibular, inclusive com uma plataforma exclusiva que ajuda a gente a entender qual que é o perfil daquele aluno e prepara exercícios para aquele aluno de alta performance, para ele ir aprofundando os estudos dele na área específica que ele deseja, seja linguagem, ciências humanas, exatas, enfim, para a área específica que ele escolhe. E quando a gente pensa no currículo canadense, em parceria com a província de New Brunswick, a gente tem um currículo com disciplinas diversificadas, que são as mesmas disciplinas que são cursadas pelos alunos no Canadá. Então você tem ali, né, como se o aluno estivesse fazendo 2 escolas ao mesmo tempo, como se ele tivesse matriculado no Brasil e tivesse matriculado numa escola no Canadá. Isso ao final resulta ali no duplo diploma que a gente fala. Então eu tenho 2 históricos escolares, 2 certificados que me garantem a possibilidade, né, de um ingresso numa universidade. Quando a gente fala garante a possibilidade, por quê? Porque no Brasil ele vai estar preparado por meio da alta performance para prestar um vestibular e no caso de uma application ele vai poder utilizar um ou até os 2 históricos escolares, os 2 diplomas para entrar dentro desse processo. Um cuidado que a gente tem que ter é não pensar que uma coisa é excludente à outra, é não achar que porque eu estou pensando em alta performance ou porque eu estou pensando em vestibular que eu tenho que eliminar as possibilidades de estudar numa faculdade fora, ou ao contrário, só porque eu estou pensando em estudar fora ou porque eu considero essa oportunidade ou possibilidade, então significa que eu não vou estar preparado para o vestibular. vestibular, a gente tem muitas vezes a ideia de que ou é uma coisa ou é outra. E, na verdade, o que a gente quer é construir diversas oportunidades para que vocês possam escolher qual é o caminho. É claro que chega um momento que você precisa tomar uma decisão e, de acordo com essa decisão, você vai se esforçar, vai estudar e vai se direcionar para aquele caminho. Mas até chegar a esse momento, a gente precisa trabalhar com uma ideia de ter diferentes oportunidades para que, de fato, eu faça a minha escolha. E o currículo da Maple Bear foi construído dessa forma, para que vocês tenham essas oportunidades, entendam quais são as possibilidades e façam a escolha de carreira de vocês, independente de onde seja essa universidade.
Terceira pergunta. Tem uma possibilidade de alguns alunos de outras instituições cursarem no high school do período da tarde?
O high school, ele é para o aluno estar 100% imerso, né, durante o dia todo. Então, aqui a gente sabe, né, que, de fato, não só aqui, mas o currículo que é preparado para o novo high school, você precisa estar de segunda a sexta-feira no período estendido, e aí sempre pensando que nós teremos 60% das matérias em português, 40% das matérias em inglês, da forma como a gente explicou anteriormente, né, parte voltada para alta performance, parte para o currículo canadense e algumas matérias que são de personalização. Junto com isso, você tem uma plataforma, né, que é a plataforma Maple Bear, no qual você tem um mapa que você faz um diagnóstico individual de cada aluno e ele te guia para você conseguir atingir os seus objetivos, como um PDCA, com um plano de ação individual mesmo. E isso faz com que você consiga cursar essa trilha. E aí, automaticamente, tudo isso integrado, você consegue, de fato, cumprir um currículo que vai te dar esse diploma. Então, você precisa estar realmente imerso e não é possível só simplesmente você de estar em uma outra escola e, por exemplo, fazer somente o high school aqui. E lembrando, diferente de algumas escolas, a Maple Bear tem isso de forma padrão, né, que a gente fala que é o standard. Ou seja, independente se você fazer uma escolha para alta performance ou para uma universidade fora do Brasil, você vai se formar para os dois caminhos. Então, vamos supor que você, de alguma forma, entenda que você fez, né, uma trilha para um Enem ou para um vestibular brasileiro, deu tudo certo, você conseguiu, de fato, ter sucesso, mas depois você fez uma mudança, né, de ideia, de carreira e quer fazer isso fora também. Vai ser super possível porque você já tem o seu Dual Certification. Então, e por isso que a gente sempre afirma que você vai ter que estar realmente intenso, imerso, né, e tem que ser 100% o tempo dedicado, né, para esse novo high school.
É muito bom que a gente pensou dessa forma e muito bom como vão fazer isso em várias escolas.
Eu tenho uma pergunta para você, Sofia. Posso?
Pode.
De tudo isso que você ouviu do high school, o que você mais gostou? O que mais chamou a atenção?
Eu gostei muito, sinceramente. É sobre como vão mapear, entre aspas, o caminho dos alunos para que eles consigam chegar aonde eles querem chegar. Desde o começo de onde eles chegaram na escola até o final, entre aspas. Porque nós iremos de uma escola para uma faculdade, então não vai ter acabado. Mas é muito bom isso, porque é diferente, porque na maioria das escolas, ou você escolhe um, ou você só tem uma escolha de fazer um deles em uma única escola, ou em outra escola diferente, você tem como fazer uma única escolha. E nessa escola vamos ter direito de fazer duas escolhas.
My name is Barbara, I'm from the Hive, and today me, Marco, and Sobral are going to say some questions from the Hive that we actually wrote the questions. So, first question. As middle-aged students, we're always wondering about what high school life will be like. So, how does Maple Bear High School support students in balancing their academic studies and extracurricular activities and personal interests?
That is a very important question because if I believe one thing is that school should be fun. You're spending so much time here not to enjoy your time. So what are the things that you're going to do to have a good experience? So to start answering that, I would say the methodology is thing number one that helps that. Like, of course, there is all this content and everything you have to learn inside the school, but we want to make sure you're doing that in a collaborative environment, that you're able to argue, that you're able to disagree, that you're able to express your opinion, that you're able to have fun and collaborate with others. Besides of all the components, all the subjects, history, geography, and everything that you have, when we're talking about high school, we made sure to add different courses in our curriculum that are going to expand your knowledge in different ways and that are going to give you that opportunity. So it's not only learning about all those concepts and everything you need because of a test, but it's making sure you're able to connect that to the real world, making sure you're able to use that in different ways. And then when you're talking about balance, we do have a very structured curriculum that goes from morning and needs extended time, but we want to make sure our students do have social gatherings, that they have different experiences, not only inside the school, but outside of the school, to have more of a balanced life and being sure that you're able to cope with everything that will go ahead.
It's very interesting, right? Like in Brazilian schools, most of them, we don't have this type of personal activities that makes school fun. So it's a very good point in NABA.
Could you tell us about any teaching methods or programs that you think make our school stand out?
Yes, of course. However, I would like to mention something that impacted me a lot today in the morning, which was first you as a student, because you has incredible profiles and of course bring the correct context and ask smart questions. Second point is regarding your teachers. You should be proud of that because we have incredible people in ABA, in Recife as well. And third point that impacted me a lot, your council process that you have in Recife, in ABA, that help you to choose the correct pathway for you in your future. That's those things that impact me a lot that, of course, you should be proud to have this in ABA, Maple Bear in Recife.
Okay, now I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think make your schools different from every other school?
Was Maple Bear and ABA is different of the other schools. I think ABA and Maple Bear have more technologies and more computer than those things than most schools on Recife in Brazil. I think the options about learning technology, programming, and other things after school about Swift, Apple programming is very good to us to learn many other things, because in our future technology will be more, I think that is will be present on our life most of the times. Yes.
That's a really good thing. So you think the school can really combine technology and education together, helping you to achieve your goals?
Yes, I think Maple Bear is different than other schools in Brazil.
Very nice.
About this.
So the third question is 1 and 2. Okay. With technology advancing so quickly, do you see Maple Bear interacting more with digital tools and online learning resources in the future? And how do you think that we will enhance our learning experience?
Well, I think Marco has already answered that question, but I will go for it. Definitely we have to think about technology, and we have to go beyond the fear that technology will substitute things or change things drastically in a way that we're not going to need human beings, because there's always that fear, there's always that comparison. We do have to acknowledge the fact that technology exists, and the questions we have to ask ourselves is how can we put technology and education together to achieve better goals, to make learning better, to make sure we succeed both as teachers and as educators. So when we're thinking about high school, we do have a complete digital program, so everything is online, there is a platform, and we want to make sure that we're using artificial intelligence, that we're using data to make sure you achieve your results. So that's why that's the power of having all that data and all that thing put it together.
Yeah, surely the technology will help so much the future students.
Question 4. Many of us are concerned about the environment and want to make a positive impact. Does Maple Bear High School have any sustainability initiatives or programs that empower students to contribute for a greener future?
Okay, that's one of my favorite questions because that's what we believe in Maple Bear. We want to make sure our students are able to impact positively the world and change the world. If we believe education can change the world, it's through you and it's because of you. So not only in high school, but all of our programs our curriculum and programs do include lots of different activities that will give and prepare our students to have a proper mindset, thinking about transformation, sustainability, poverty, world climate change, and any other thing that we may think that the world need. In high school specifically, we have a political science course, we have an environmental science course for all of our students, we have an entrepreneurship course, we have a world issues course that will allow students to have very deep discussions about all these possibilities and opportunities for them to reflect how they can impact the world. And also we have, thinking about the Portuguese part of our program, the itinerarios. All of our itinerarios were written and were thought considering connection with the real world. So what I mean by that is, if we're going to talk about physics, biology, and chemistry, what better way to talk about those things than what are the things we eat, where do the things we eat come from, what changes does that make in our body. So we're always trying to connect those subjects and those concepts that we need to learn with things that will impact your own lives first, and then how that can impact the world. Now you, Sobral, as a Maple Bear student, how do you plan to impact the world?
I mean, I'm gonna say actually an example of an idea we had in Mr. Pablo's class is there. I mean, you can see, but yeah. Other day we were talking about products, and we made an advertisement for a product that doesn't exist. We reimagined phones as holographic displays and etc., like futuristic stuff. And the main point isn't like the holograms or stuff. It's the fact that it doesn't make you, like look down at your phone all the time. And even we designed the blue screen and etc., like to protect your eyes, and we created a lot of stuff. So yeah, I mean, the future awaits. I really don't know how am I going to change the future or whatever, but I really want to make it in a positive way. So yeah.
Well, people may be using a phone that you will invent, so maybe a Maple Bear student will invent a new phone. You never know.
It's no secret that the job market is changing rapidly. How does Maple Bear High School prepare its students for the careers of the future?
The job market is changing fast, and we don't really know what the future will hold to us. There are many professions, there are many different jobs, there are many different things that will come. I just think about all the changes that has recently happened in all these years. Let's give an example of the music we listen. I don't know if you've ever heard about, do you know what a Walkman is? No, Barbara doesn't. It is a device that was invented about 40 years ago for you to listen to music. And it had a tape. So your teachers have to show you that later on, okay? Remember them to show you. But nowadays we're talking, like when we're talking about listening to music, music is everywhere, music is in the cloud. So we know how things have been changing so fast, and we don't know what will happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years. We know there will still be doctors, but we don't know what these doctors will be doing. We know there will still be engineers, but we are not sure what those engineers will be doing. So you're probably going to be working in jobs, and we're going to be working in careers and thinking about things that we never really thought about it before. And we have to be aware of that, and we need to consider that when we're making choices in school. Just think of me as an example. I always ask myself, did my father really think there would be ChatGPT when I was in grade 1, when I was in grade 2, when he was choosing my school, when my teachers were choosing curriculum, when they were deciding the things that I was going to do in school, did they really think what the jobs would be, what the things would happen? So we don't really know that, but we have to acknowledge the fact that things are changing and changing fast. So every decision we make at school now, everything we do at school now will impact your lives and your decisions and opportunities in the futures. So that's why we have to constantly evolve and think outside of the box.
Additionally, I'd like to mention that our mission as educators are prepare ourselves to choose the way that you'd like to move in your future. And because of that, we need to understand, of course, our choices, prepare doors for open doors for you choose, for example, and also remember that there are a lot of different futures. And in this meantime, you need to remember that we should be adaptable, because sometimes some obstacles can come, but we should be adaptable to choose different ways in our lives. Does it make sense for you? Yeah.
Okay, Sobral, is it your turn?
We're getting close to the grand finale. Like, it's the biggest question we prepared. Question number 6. It is known that schools worldwide are finally changing to adapt to the new generation's needs and interests by adding technology, teaching, and learning techniques to their curriculum. When compared to other schools, what does Maple Bears High School have to offer that supports their students on their journey based on their personal experiences, interests, and paths they want to take after school, like in college?
That's a long question,
Yeah.
and probably there's a long answer for that, but I'll try to summarize it. I think the first thing we want to support and that we believe is that every student can succeed. All of you can achieve your goals, and all of you can be anywhere you want. And I think that's the biggest difference from Maple Bear from any other school. We're not looking for being or like the best student when enter the best university or is doing the best course. We want to make sure you are able to choose your path and that you succeed in the path that you want. When I say you, I mean you and every other student in Maple Bear around the world. So I think that's the big difference when we're talking about, because success is hard to measure, right? How do you really measure if your student is succeeding or not? How do you really measure if the school is good or not? To us, Maple Bear Maple Bear will be a good school, and it is a good school because we want to make sure all of you are succeeding, because you've chose your path and because you achieved that. So there are many different things we do for that. In high school specifically, we're talking about counseling. So we want to make sure, we want to hear you, we want to listen to you. What are your needs? What do you want to do? What are your doubts? How can we support you? What are the things we can do to help you? And we want to bring you information. I think information is key on that matter as well, because if we're thinking about applying to a university in Brazil, how does that happen? What do you need to know? What are the things that you need to be prepared for, not only academic speaking, but socially and emotionally speaking, to perform on a test and to do a test. If you're going to a university abroad, we also want to make sure we're bringing information. What is the application process? What do you need to do? How does this happen? How much does it cost? And everything on. But before that, there's a very important piece, which is making sure you're thinking about your career. We want our students not to think about a specific course in university. It's not about doing engineer, about doing law, or about doing that specific course, but it is about your career. What do you want to do in your life, and what's going to make you happy? So what is the path? Like, doing this a university course, doing one specific thing is a step on all this journey that your life is going to be. And how do you want to impact the world? Where do you want to work? How do you want to work? what do you want to do? So all those questions are also very important because you have to think about a career path, and we want to make sure you start thinking when you're still in school, because there's all these people that can help you, that can give you feedback, that can support you on those choices. Does that answer the question?
Yes, so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to continue, there's no problem. Again, thank you so much to be with us today. Thank you so much for watching our interview today. And make sure to check out the last edition, our last edition, the edition 1 from the Hive, and be prepared for edition 2. See ya, Bears!